Greetings fellow traders, this is Max and welcome to my Sunday market analysis where I'm going to analyze the market and share with you my top trades for the upcoming week. Now the market is still having a lot of crazy moves as it had last week, as we see here 0.7% or 0.54% on a day or 1% on a day, which is really exceptional for the forex market, I would say. And that's why I have picked certain trades that have the highest quality for me, for my trading and for my strategy, and I just try to be a little more careful to avoid getting stopped out too early, getting stopped out too often, because the market seems to be rather difficult to predict in the moves, even though I do not really try to predict the market, but I try to open a position where I think this has the highest chance to go into this direction. So say a short position or a long position for prices getting lower or prices getting higher. So my first top trade is going to be on AUD JPY. We see on the weekly chart that we are still in a really great downtrend here. We have certain areas of interest and around psychological levels. For example, here the 93 around psychological level. We have broke this one on the weekly chart, and we even broke this level here, the 90 around psychological level. It looks like we have retraced last week back into this level, but we did not really close above this level. So my idea would be to go short here, look on the daily chart and on the 4-hour chart for potential entries. So first entry might actually occur relatively early on Monday into the session. This could be the first entry with a stop being above this swing high here, but it could also happen that we form some sort of head and shoulders here and then we are heading down. So I will have a close look at the price movement here to potentially go short. The alternative would be that we even have a retracement back into this area for this week. So that means this week there might not be the short position setting up, but next week it could be a potential short. So right now, if I get my entry here, I will short price right here. If not, I'll just wait for price to retrace back into this area to then open a short position around this level. The next pair with a top trade is going to be CAD JPY. So we see here on the weekly chart that we are still creating new lows. We are still in a downtrend, but it seems to be a little weakening. So on the daily chart, I still have this left shoulder, head and right shoulder pattern here, which we broke. We retested it and we actually rejected it a bit. Then we had this gigantic move back into the right shoulder here, rejecting the EMA. On the next day, price got rejected again, and now we have this hammer candle here still around the area where I actually want to open a short position. So I'm going to have a look at the price, see what it's doing here, the price formation, to then also open a potential short position relatively early on Monday into the session, but definitely not before London session. So I will wait for London session to settle in to see what the price is doing to potentially open a short position. If price is getting higher, I'm not going to be interested in this trade anymore for the week, and I'll just see what it's doing, because as you see, there are just so many volatile moves here, which I try to avoid except if it's going into my direction. But price seems to be a little indecisive here still, so I'll be relatively careful with this one as well. My next top trade is going to be on Euro GBP. So we see here on the weekly and on the daily that we are still in a really great uptrend. This has been going on for quite some time now, so I actually expect a retracement sooner or later now. So if during the week we get a retracement back into this zone down here, the 0.86 round psychological level, then I'm going to look for entries around this level here. So on a daily, this could take probably a couple days, maybe even longer. But if I get my entry signal here with a nice liquidity sweep and then the strong bullish momentum to the upside, then I'm going to be interested in a long position here on the Euro GBP pair. Now we have this little wick here on the weekly. I do not think that, or at least for me, this could be a wick fill, but then price might still turn around and go back into this area. So I will wait for price to definitely come back here. If it doesn't get back at least into down into this area here, peaking a little below, then I'm not going to be interested in the trade. The alternative trade idea would be to wait for price to actually come down back into this area to then look for long opportunities, but then I might not get the entry next week, so I would have to wait a couple of weeks more. But we will see what price is doing. This is going to be my top plan now for the upcoming week. Now my next top trade and pair is going to be Euro USD. On the weekly chart, we had this breakout here of this round psychological level and area of interest. We saw here that on the weekly price has rejected the area multiple times. Now we broke through it. Now I want to see it becoming support here. We have the round psychological level as well. So I want to wait for price to get below here, sweep the liquidity below, and then look for long entries. But as it has been in the past, as we see here, I just want to wait for like a double rejection, a double test, just to be really sure. Just like here, for example, just to be really sure that this area is actually going to become support. I do not want to enter the trade prematurely to then get stopped out early and then have the price move into my direction. So I will be rather patient with this one as well. Nice wick, so maybe the wick down first and then we are getting higher. If price does not come back, then it is what it is. Then I'm not going to be interested in the trade anymore. So you have to be patient and yeah, just manage your trades and manage your risk properly to preserve capital. My next top pair for the upcoming week is going to be GBP CAD. Now in the weekly we see here that we are in a beautiful long and consistent uptrend on this pair. So what we have here is a weekly area of interest. We broke above and now we come back into this area. But as you see, we haven't closed below, actually kind of rejected it. So my plan is going to be that, or my trade idea is that this level, the 1.81 round psychological level, is has formerly been resistance. Now it's turning into support. We even slept some liquidity here. So on the daily and then on the 4-hour time frame, I'm looking for signs that price is going to reverse now, and I'm going to be interested in long trades here, in a long opportunity. So on the 4-hour we see we have this, we have the liquidity sweep here pretty much, and this could potentially become a inverse head and shoulders pattern. So if we invert the scale here, we can actually see that this is maybe a left shoulder, this is going to be the head, and then we have the right shoulder here. And now the ideal move would be to then now wait for an entry signal here to enter at the right shoulder, and then be relatively early in the trade and potentially hold it until we reach the last high here. So this could be the 1.87 round psychological level up here for a really nice risk reward ratio of about 1 to 3. So this would be my trading plan for GBP CAD. But again, I'm going to be patient here. Ideally, I would like to see another liquidity sweep a little below this area where potential limit orders and stop loss orders are sitting, and then price aggressively reversing to the upside to then enter a long trade here. My next and final pair for this week is going to be NZD CAD. So on the weekly, it has been a bit ranging between major price levels here, but what we see here, if we zoom a little closer, we have kind of this, we had this bearish flag formation here. Now we broke below, and this is an interesting area here, a daily area of interest. Actually, it's a weekly area of interest for me now. So, and price hasn't closed above this area, so it might actually get rejected here. What I want to see on the daily here is maybe another liquidity sweep here, then a day closing as a neutral candle. Maybe the EMA could come down here a little further as well, get rejected, and that would give me extra confirmation that the price might want to go lower here. And on the lower time frame, I will be looking for my entries. So I will wait for the new daily candle to close, and then so basically on the weekly chart, a small wick up, and then we have the rejection down to then maybe I'm going to target the lowest low here. Or just a little below this area, so around this level here, 0.78 or 79 level, depending on how the price is moving here. But again, I'm going to be patient. I want to wait for maybe a strong rejection, some sort of lower high or liquidity sweep, to then enter around this zone here for a short opportunity. So this is going to be my trading plan now for NZD CAD. So for this week in total, we have 6 trades that I will have a closer look at. Also, I have analyzed the other pairs as well, set certain alarms there, and if any of those alarms is getting triggered, then I will have a look at the chart and decide whether there is a new trade opportunity coming up during the week. If so, then I will make a decision whether I'm going to enter the trade or not. I will also share those trade ideas in my free Telegram channel. I will put the link to it into the video description, so you can join completely for free. Doesn't cost you anything, and I will share my trades, trade updates, running trades, and of course those trade ideas that I just spoke about. You will also find links to my other socials in the video description, and if you have any questions, then just let me know in the comments and I will try to answer your questions. Thank you for watching. Remember to manage your risk properly, and I wish you now a successful trading week and see you next Sunday.